Welcome to the Hidden Wealth Coins. Hidden in old collections and forgotten drawers, the legendary Mercury Dime could secretly be worth a fortune. Some rare high-grade examples have stunned collectors with massive prices. This tiny silver coin from the iconic Mercury Dime series might look ordinary, but in the right condition it could completely transform your financial future overnight. First up, the moment you hold an old American silver coin in your hand, you might think it is just another small piece of metal. But sometimes, hidden among ordinary pocket change, there exists a coin that can completely change someone's life. One such mysterious and fascinating coin is the famous 1942 Mercury Dime from the United States of America. At first glance, it looks small and simple, but collectors around the world know that certain rare versions of this coin can be incredibly valuable. Some extremely rare examples have sold for thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the excitement around this coin continues to grow every year. Many people unknowingly pass it from hand to hand without realizing the treasure they might be holding. The Mercury Dime belongs to one of the most beloved coin designs in American history. This beautiful coin was first introduced in 1916 and continued to be produced until 1945. The design was created by the talented American sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, whose artistic vision transformed the small dime into a miniature masterpiece. On the front of the coin, you can see the elegant profile of Liberty wearing a winged cap. Many people mistakenly believe the design represents the Roman god Mercury, which is how the coin got its popular nickname. In reality, the wings symbolize freedom of thought and the spirit of liberty. By the time the year 1942 arrived, the world was in the middle of dramatic changes. The United States had entered the global conflict known as World War II, and the country's economy, industries, and even coin production were affected. Millions of coins were minted during this period to keep commerce moving, but in the process, a few rare mistakes and unique varieties were created. These minting variations are exactly what makes certain 1942 Mercury Dimes extremely valuable today. Coin collectors carefully study these details because one tiny difference can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin worth a fortune. One of the most exciting and famous varieties from this year is the 1942 overdate variety, often written as 1942-41. This unusual coin was created when a previous die with the year 1941 was accidentally reused and then re-engraved with the year 1942. The result was a fascinating error where traces of the earlier date remain visible beneath the new numbers. To an ordinary person, it might look like a normal coin, but under magnification the overlapping numbers become visible. Collectors around the world actively search for this rare variety because it represents a genuine piece of minting history. When collectors talk about the value of a coin, the most important factor is its condition. A coin that has circulated for decades, passing through countless hands, will naturally show wear. But sometimes a coin survives in almost perfect condition, as if it were frozen in time. These pristine examples are known as mint state coins, and their surfaces still shine with the original luster created at the moment of minting. When a rare coin like the 1942 Mercury Dime is found in such remarkable condition, its value can rise dramatically. Professional coin grading organizations carefully examine these coins and assign them a grade that represents their condition. The difference between a slightly worn coin and a flawless one can be enormous in terms of value. A common worn 1942 Mercury Dime might be worth only a few dollars because of its silver content, but a rare variety in high grade can be worth thousands. In the world of numismatics, collectors are always searching for that one incredible discovery that could transform a simple coin into a life-changing treasure. Another reason the Mercury Dime continues to capture the imagination of collectors is its beautiful design and historical significance. The coin represents an era when artistry played a major role in American coinage. The delicate feathers of Liberty's winged cap, the graceful lettering, and the symbolic bundle of rods and olive branch on the reverse side all tell a story about strength and peace. Every tiny detail reflects the craftsmanship of the early 20th century and reminds us that even the smallest coin can carry deep meaning. For many collectors, the thrill of searching for rare coins is similar to treasure hunting. Old coin jars, inherited collections, antique stores, and flea markets sometimes reveal surprising discoveries. People have occasionally found valuable coins hidden among ordinary change or forgotten inside old boxes. The possibility that a rare Mercury Dime could still be waiting somewhere keeps collectors motivated and excited. Every search carries the hope that the next coin examined might turn out to be something extraordinary. The 1942 Mercury Dime is especially interesting because several different mints in the United States produced coins that year. These included facilities in cities such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint added its own small letter mark to identify where the coin was made. Collectors pay close attention to these mint marks because certain combinations of mint location, year, and condition can make a coin much rarer than others. Silver content also plays a role in the value of this coin. The Mercury Dime was made from 90% silver, giving it intrinsic precious metal value even if it is worn. As global silver prices rise over time, the base value of these coins increases as well. However, collectors are usually far more interested in rarity and condition than simply the metal content. That is why certain rare varieties can sell for dramatically higher prices than their silver weight alone would suggest. Stories about valuable coins often capture people's imagination because they combine history, mystery, and the possibility of unexpected wealth. Imagine discovering that a small coin sitting unnoticed in your collection is actually worth thousands of dollars. This kind of discovery has happened many times before, and it continues to happen today. The world of coin collecting is full of stories where ordinary individuals suddenly realize they possess something extremely rare. The Mercury Dime series also marks the end of an important chapter in American coinage. In 1946, the design was replaced with a new dime honoring the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The new coin paid tribute to Roosevelt's leadership during difficult times and his efforts to combat polio. With this change, the elegant Mercury Dime quietly became part of history, leaving behind a legacy that collectors still celebrate. Because of its fascinating design, historical background, and rare varieties, the 1942 Mercury Dime continues to be one of the most exciting coins for collectors to study and collect. Even decades after it was minted, people around the world still search for these coins with hope and curiosity. Each surviving piece represents a small window into the past, connecting modern collectors with the events and craftsmanship of another era. So the next time you come across an old silver dime, take a closer look before you spend it. What appears to be a simple coin might actually hold an incredible story and significant value. The 1942 Mercury Dime reminds us that history can sometimes hide in the smallest places, and occasionally a tiny piece of metal has the power to surprise the entire world with its worth. For collectors and dreamers alike, that possibility is what makes the search for rare coins so thrilling and unforgettable. Second up, hidden among old jars of coins, forgotten drawers, and inherited collections, there sometimes lies a small silver coin that carries a story far bigger than its size. Many people spend coins without looking closely, but occasionally one tiny piece of metal can hold astonishing value. One such coin that continues to fascinate collectors is the remarkable 1928 Mercury Dime from the United States of America. At first glance it appears to be an ordinary 10-cent coin, yet certain well-preserved examples can command impressive prices in the collector market. For passionate coin hunters, finding a rare piece like this can feel like discovering a hidden treasure waiting quietly for decades to be noticed. The coin belongs to the famous Mercury Dime series, one of the most admired designs ever created for American coinage. This elegant silver coin was introduced in 1916 and quickly captured attention because of its artistic beauty and symbolic meaning. The design was created by the talented sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, whose work transformed a simple dime into a miniature work of art. On the front of the coin, Liberty is shown wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought and intellectual liberty. Many people mistakenly think the image represents the Roman god Mercury, which is why collectors eventually gave the coin its popular nickname. When the year 1928 arrived, the United States was moving through an era of economic growth and cultural change. The country was experiencing the vibrant period often remembered as the Roaring Twenties, a time filled with innovation, jazz music, and rapid industrial progress. During this era, millions of coins were minted to support the growing economy, including large numbers of Mercury Dimes. However, even when a coin is produced in high quantities, certain examples can still become rare due to survival rates, condition, and collector demand many decades later. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1928 Mercury Dime is how its value changes depending on where it was minted. Coins from that year were produced in several mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint placed a small identifying letter on the coin to show where it was produced. These tiny mint marks may seem insignificant to casual observers, but to collectors they are extremely important. Certain mint combinations and limited production numbers can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collectible. The 1928 Mercury Dime is especially admired because of its beautiful composition. The coin was struck using 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both durability and precious metal value. Over time, the silver content alone ensures that these coins always hold some intrinsic worth. But the real excitement begins when collectors discover coins that have survived in extraordinary condition. When a coin retains its original luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces, it becomes far more desirable to collectors. Condition plays one of the most powerful roles in determining a coin's value. A Mercury dime that has circulated heavily for decades may show scratches, worn details, and faded surfaces. Such coins are common and usually valued mainly for their silver content. However, when a coin from 1928 appears in nearly perfect condition, with crisp lines and brilliant shine, its value can rise dramatically. Collectors often compete intensely for these high-grade coins because they represent the finest surviving examples of their time. Professional coin grading services examine these coins carefully and assign them numerical grades based on their preservation. The difference between an average coin and a no-perfect specimen can mean thousands of dollars in value. Some exceptionally preserved Mercury dimes have sold for astonishing amounts at auctions, especially when collectors recognize their rarity and beauty. These high-grade coins become prized possessions within serious collections. Another reason the Mercury Dime series continues to attract attention is the powerful symbolism embedded in its design. On the reverse side of the coin, a bundle of rods known as a fasces appears alongside an olive branch. The fasces represents unity and strength, while the olive branch symbolizes peace. Together, these elements create a message about balance between power and harmony. This artistic storytelling makes the coin far more meaningful than a simple piece of currency. For coin collectors, searching for rare coins often feels like a thrilling treasure hunt. Many enthusiasts examine old coin rolls, inherited collections, and antique shop finds in hopes of discovering a hidden rarity. The possibility that a valuable Mercury dime might still be sitting unnoticed somewhere keeps collectors motivated. Every coin examined carries a small spark of hope that it could be something extraordinary. The year 1928 also holds special significance because coins from that era have survived nearly a century. Over such a long period, countless coins were melted, lost, or damaged, reducing the number of well-preserved examples available today. This natural process of time gradually increases the rarity of the best surviving pieces. When collectors encounter a beautifully preserved 1928 Mercury dime, they are essentially holding a small artifact from nearly 100 years ago. Another fascinating aspect of collecting these coins is the emotional connection they create with the past. A coin minted in 1928 may have passed through the hands of merchants, travelers, and families living through an entirely different era. It might have been used to buy a newspaper, a meal, or a train ticket many decades ago. Every coin carries an invisible story shaped by the lives of the people who once used it. The Mercury Dimes series eventually came to an end in 1945, marking the close of a remarkable chapter in American coinage. The following year, the design was replaced with a new dime honoring the respected American leader Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose leadership during difficult times left a lasting legacy. Although the design changed, the Mercury dime remained deeply admired by collectors who appreciated its artistic elegance. Today, collectors across the world continue to search for Mercury dimes with excitement and curiosity. Auction houses, coin shows, and private collections regularly showcase these beautiful silver coins. While most examples may sell for modest prices, the finest and rarest specimens can command astonishing values, especially when collectors compete to own them. So whenever you encounter an old silver dime, it is always worth taking a closer look. What seems like a small and ordinary coin might hold a remarkable history and surprising value. The 1928 Mercury dime reminds us that treasures do not always appear in grand forms. Sometimes they hide quietly in the smallest objects. For collectors and dreamers alike, that possibility is what makes the search for rare coins endlessly exciting and full of wonder.